Something strange is going on surrounding Walker Kessler, as it has now been a couple of games in a row where he has sat out for rest despite not being injured. Reports are starting to indicate that Rob Pelinka is ready to strike. We're going to break down those reports and discuss what this means going forward, as some very interesting reports are dropping. We also have an update from JJ Redick revealing some interesting insight as to potentially what the Lakers trade plans will be going forward. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, quick reminder, if you're part of the 83% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. Let's dive right into it. So you can see this here. It came out late last night. Walker Kessler rest is ruled out for Friday. Now, on the surface, you're thinking, okay, he's just trying to rest. The Jazz are trying to tank all these different things, tank for Cooper Flag. But this is now the second or third, at least second game in a row where Walker Kessler is out for rest. And Walker Kessler is a young, upcoming, promising, not star, but an upcoming center in this league, and he's getting rested. This has spewed a bunch of conversations about how a trade could be incoming for the Lakers, or just in general. Jazz trade rumors heightened with weekend healthy scratch. Are the Jazz cooking up a Walker Kessler trade? Kessler's availability has been relatively solid this season, having only missed 6 games due to injury. It was a hip issue that arose earlier in the year, but apart from that, Kessler hasn't missed a game. So when Utah sat him in the Brooklyn game with no injury report attached, that raised some eyebrows. Kessler isn't someone to rest for no reason, and he's certainly not on load management watch. So rumors, being what they are, injected further conversations surrounding Kessler's trade potential, of which the Jazz have denied their part in possibly moving the big man. So it's very interesting because when you first see the fact that, the Jazz are willing to rest Walker Kessler, you think, okay, maybe they're negotiating a trade. Even though reports have kind of been up and down on the situation, the first reaction, like the article says, is that the Jazz are negotiating a potential trade, so they scratch Kessler to avoid injury. The most notable organization linked to Kessler is the Lakers, who are in dire need of center depth behind AD. Kessler and the Lakers have been linked, of course, Jonas Valanciunas as well, linked to some other players. But if Utah is trying to tank, and it seems like they're trying to tank for Cooper Flag, that seems to be kind of the motivation behind this resting, if not a trade. Trading Walker Kessler would make sense even more because Kessler's helping you win games, right? So things start to get very, very interesting. And, a report dropped, an article dropped. The Lakers need to spend the next few weeks evaluating their roster after acquiring DFS as a potential small ball center option. But of course, this was a week or so ago. Kessler would give coach JJ Redick the flexibility to play another rim protecting big alongside AD, depending on the matchup. That's currently not an option. The lack of size was evident against the Nuggets. He's 23, still young, and is only making $4.9 million. A 7-footer would make a ton of sense for this LA Lakers team. And if you look at his stats now, he's averaging 10, 11, and almost, 3 blocks a game, which is, for one, insane. And for two, it really goes to show how important rim protection is, obviously, in the NBA. But when you're talking about specifically the Lakers, when we'll dive into a comment from JJ Redick here in a moment, it's very interesting how badly they need a backup big man. We saw Jackson Hayes. We saw them make, the G League swaps for Trey. And now, as you start to look at what it would take to get, Walker Kessler, if he's available, if they're resting him and he is, available for trade, then all signs are good. This could, point to the fact that, hey, the Lakers are ready to pounce on this acquisition. And when you look at what a trade would take, this has been the trade that's been brought up the most here. And this is from a couple weeks ago. Basically, it's the removal of the top 4 protection pick, because the reason that they haven't wanted to make a trade with the Lakers is because they have a top 4, they have, they have protection on the 2027, trade, but not on the pick, but not even that. The Jazz own the Lakers 2027 first round pick. So if the Lakers are playing good basketball, and let's say Walker Kessler in 2027 is one of the reasons that they end up being, a 6th seed or a 5th seed instead of an 8th or a 9th seed, then Danny Ainge over in Utah is going to be beating himself up over the fact that he actually helped facilitate a trade that made the Lakers better in the future. That's been the main reason. But what would help offset that is the removal of the top 4 protection on the first round pick in 2027, and you give up your 2029 first rounder and salary for in Christian Wood. So you're basically giving up a first round pick, some safety on your 2027 first round pick. You're getting rid of the safety blanket you have if it is a top 4 pick. And in exchange, you're getting an extremely young center that would be unbelievably important to this team. And as you watch the Lakers games, they're playing really well. They are in dire need of a backup center. Jackson Hayes hasn't really been good enough, quite frankly. He's been really bad this season. We've seen some different guys, Christian Koloko try to come in. Now you have Trey Jemison, who's coming in and hopefully going to be able to give you something in the meantime. We saw Trey Jemison practice with the Lakers today. He looks, fine. He's an inside big man. But if you actually want to go out and make use of LeBron's last couple of years in LA here, A move for Walker Kessler would do that. Now, again, are they trading him? All signs point to maybe. Like, all signs point to yes, just because they're resting him so much. But at the same time, there's been some reports coming out saying that they aren't necessarily super interested in trading Walker Kessler. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And JJ Redick came out and said that the Lakers are going to be playing more two big lineups moving forward in small doses. He said he made the adjustment to help shore up the team's defense and rebounding. If this isn't clamoring for another big man, then I don't know what is, because obviously they're two big man lineups. I mean, are you going to run Jackson Hayes and AD for the rest of the season? Or are you going to try Trey Jemison? Are you going to try to acquire someone else, Christian Koloko? You're going to try, like, if you're trying to compete for a championship and JJ Redick sees the use and sees the positive, positivity from, positive impact, from the two big man lineup, then go out and get a big man. And it doesn't have to be Walker Kessler if he's not available, but get somebody. Now, the available options aren't crazy. Nick Richards would have been perfect. Was available for seconds. He's off the board. You think about Jonas Valanciunas. He's available for seconds. He is an offensive-minded center that could help, but would not help with defense. Could help with rebounding a little bit. You think about Robert Williams, also available for seconds, getting scratched by the Portland Trailblazers. He would be a very interesting fit, I will say. So as you start to think about what they can do, it is going to be interesting. And not only interesting, but it's going to be important to see what kind of move and what kind of center they target. Because JJ Redick's clamoring for a defensive-minded center with rebounding. That would have been Nick Richards. That would be Robert Williams. It wouldn't be Valanciunas, and it would be at the top of the top tier level Walker Kessler. That being said, they don't really want to trade with the Lakers. And I'm not entirely sold that the Jazz won't even trade Walker Kessler in general. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. But before we wrap up here, JJ Redick just gave some praise on Austin Reaves. Said he's played at an all-star level for stretches this season. As Reaves' role has grown, his coach is imploring him to not get out of character and try to do more than what he's been asked of him, even if the game isn't going the Lakers' direction. And obviously, Austin Reaves has stepped in this season, and he stepped in and had an increased role for the Lakers, starting point guard now, and his facilitation has gotten tenfold better. And as you start to look at how important he is, it is very important that he continues to, I like the quote here from, JJ Redick, to not get out of character. Watching these games, if he just continues to play the way he's playing, he doesn't force anything. You have so much talent around you in LeBron and AD and DFS now that, and Rui Hachimura, all these guys, you don't really need to force the game if you're Austin Reaves. The points will come. Your role is guaranteed. Continue to work on being a great point guard, because that's what the Lakers need you to be at this point. There's no doubt about it. And as he continues to develop, he's still young, he's under contract, this Lakers team will also continue to develop with him as the one. So I just want to throw that out there. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on Walker Kessler. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on, of course, all these different trade proposals and Austin Reaves as well. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.